So this is a topic that comes up quite a lot in employee surveys and probably every organisation in the country. This sense of fairness is relevant to everybody, I guess. In our world, there's 2 or 3 areas where it crops up, but one of them is promotions. That can be a kind of sensitive point. People feel there's bias and unfairness. He got promoted, I didn't get promoted. And if you want to take that on, specifically around the topic of promotions.
Yeah, sure, Con. I think around promotions, we have a very, very robust process that we have created. So we have panel interviews, we have recommendations that is written by the manager. But however, sometimes, let's say there are 4 people who are 4 raters who are promoted, who are recommended for promotion. Sometimes 2 might get promoted and the 2 might be left behind. In such a scenario, the 2 that didn't get the promotion always think that there is no fairness and that they deserve it and they did not get it because all of them are 4 raters. Now, the managers can be a little bit more transparent about the process. There are 2 things that they can do. When they recommend someone, they can sort of let the others know what is the reason why only 2 out of the 4 have been recommended for promotions. Now, we publish the scores of panel interviews and things like that. However, I think instead of just leaving them in the dark, it is to go and explain to them why they did not get the promotion, why the other person got the promotion.
And I think be quite specific about the feedback, right? Yeah. That on this point, you were not doing as well as you should have done. And at this point, you need to work on this a lot more. Yeah. I think it needs to have specifics to reassure those who didn't get the promotion that it was fair. There is a criteria. That criteria had 6 elements, and here's 2 where you weren't at your best. Yeah, Kathy?
Maybe just to add to that is giving the employees a reassurance that they're going to be working with them on those elements where they didn't make the cut of the 6 criteria. If they failed in 2, then explaining to them that the manager is available to work through those 2 criteria with them, so they're able to have the confidence when they go up in front of the panel the next time as well. I think that also builds trust with the employees, apart from giving them that transparency in terms of why they were not selected.
So the fairness isn't the transparency is intrinsic to the fairness and the clarity of what the criteria was in the first instance, and then where they've not really performed very well, just being super clear about that. And then it's a much more open, grown-up conversation. I think that would help on the promotions aspect of fairness.
And sometimes it will also be good to publish qualitative feedback. Let's say they had a panel interview, to publish the qualitative feedback from the panel members so that they can understand,
where they fell down.
Yeah. So it is the feedback is sent to the manager with the scores and the qualitative comments, but the manager has to make sure that it reaches the people, the people who did take up the interviews, so that they know where they stand and why some made it and why some didn't. I think that transparency right down to the last mile has to be.
So the manager has to be clear, they have to be a bit diplomatic perhaps, but still making sure that the people who didn't get promoted understand why in reasonably specific terms. Yeah, okay.